In the face of severe global challenges, the UK economy has proved more resilient than many expected, but there is still a long way to go. The words of the Chancellor Jeremy Hunt this morning as the economy shows signs of bouncing back. GDP, the sum total of all transactions in the economy, unexpectedly grew 0.3% in January, following a 0.5% contraction the month before. And here to break it down for us and make some sense of what I just said, because I read it and had no idea, is Economics Business Editor Liam Halligan with On the Money. Yeah, you know, you read something and think, what the hell is what a guan?
You can do this. Bear with me, right? Bear with me.
Explain.
There are these numbers called GDP, Gross Domestic Product. And what it means is that all the transactions in the economy, you add everything up that happens in a particular month, and that's the amount of GDP. And the amount of GDP goes up from one month to the other. That's growth or anti-growth. And actually, even though a lot of people have been saying the UK economy is on its uppers, the Bank of England, the Treasury, the Office of Budget Responsibility, they've all been saying, haven't they, we're going into recession, it's going to be really gloomy, and all the rest of it. And I have to come on and I have to report that stuff. So it's really nice for me to come on a Friday afternoon now and report some numbers out this morning, official numbers, that are actually pretty good. We're seeing the green shoots of economic recovery. And I've put them on a graphic for you, Nana. So GBNews radio listeners can bear with us. There you go. The economy returns to growth. GDP in December 2022 fell. It contracted by 0.5%. Almost all economists, except yours truly, thought that that contraction was going to continue. But look, in January 2023, the latest figures show that GDP actually increased 0.3%. That's not a bad monthly increase. And if you break those numbers down, Nana, it is a bit of a mixed picture, but the service sector there, that accounts for a big chunk of the economy. That's 0.3% growth. Transport and storage up 1.6% in January.
We haven't had any movement at all. They've all been on strike.
No, but the thing is, there were strikes in December and there were many fewer strikes in January. Okay. And so we got back up. And also a lot of freight happened. You had a lot of shipping going on, a lot of logistics. Those lockdown supply chain problems are really now starting to ease. So you had a big increase in transport and storage. But look there, production, that fell. That's mainly manufacturers. They're still suffering with high energy costs. Their commercial activity down 0.3% and construction down 1.7%. That's because the housing market's rocky, so a lot of the big house builders are just sort of... They do go slows anyway to keep prices high, but now they're doing an even bigger go slow. But look, this is much, much better in the round than almost anyone thought it would be. I'm not saying there's not still a cost of living crisis. I'm not saying that households aren't still suffering with their shopping baskets, their energy bills, firms suffering as well, but it's better than expected. And what that means is in the budget on Wednesday, Jeremy Hunt should have a bit more money to play with because there's been a bit more growth, a bit more tax revenue. He hasn't had to spend so much on energy subsidies for households and firms because wholesale energy prices have come down. And that means there may be room for, if not some tax cuts, then maybe he can shelve some tax rises, and there may be a bit more room, you won't want to talk about this though, money for wage settlements to settle some of those industrial disputes. So I hope that's not too complicated, but it's actually pretty good news. There is light at the end of the economic tunnel, in my view. I've been saying for weeks on GB News, you can see the green shoots of recovery coming through. And these official GDP numbers, which came out this morning, I've been talking about them here on GB News all day today, they show that there is indeed signs of a decent economic recovery.
Well, let's hope that Jeremy Hunt doesn't suffocate them with a 25% tax on businesses. Thank you very much.